Hello again, partners. As I mentioned in my email, my writer and researcher Dennis Daly has a close tie to this week's honoree. He spent a lot of hours studying journalism in a building at Indiana University named for journalist Ernie Pyle. And Ernie Pyle is the focus of our attention today. During the Second World War, there were many journalists who risked their lives to bring back stories of the action. Many were newspaper correspondents whose names have been long forgotten as time has passed. One of those newspaper correspondents who worked for Dennis's former employer, United Press International, the largest news company in the world then, was a very young Walter Cronkite. Yeah, you remember him. We also need to include Edward R. Murrow in that list. His nightly reports live from the rooftops of London brought the story of the Blitz and the suffering into the homes of all Americans. But one journalist is said to have been more loved and respected than all the rest. That journalist is our honoree today. He was Ernie Pyle. You see, dear friends, Ernie Pyle was a great patriot. He spent much of his career dodging bullets and bombs to talk to the average man on the fighting front. He interviewed hundreds of GIs during the war, and he brought those stories to the American public. Even before America went to war, Ernie Pyle was interviewing just plain average Americans. From 1935 through 1941, he traveled throughout the United States writing about rural towns and their inhabitants. After the U.S. entered World War II, he used his same distinctive folksy style for wartime reports. During World War II, Pyle became so trusted by the War Department that it didn't even ask to check what he was writing. The director knew Ernie would never give away any secrets. Unlike many correspondents who spent their time reporting on troop movements and major battles, Ernie Pyle talked about soldiers, one at a time. He told their stories, and the soldiers loved him for his honesty. In one of his columns in 1944, he asked Congress to send special paychecks to soldiers in the thick of battle. If airmen can get flight pay, he noted, why can't soldiers get fight pay? Well, within months, Congress gave the GIs on the battlefront a pay raise. The bill was called the Ernie Pyle Bill. Just as the war was ending, Ernie Pyle wrote a book called This Is Your War. Today, journalism students read it to see just how to report on big events in a very personal way, as Ernie did. Pyle's final dispatch went out April 15, 1945, just before he went ashore with troops on Okinawa. The following day, dear friends, he was killed instantly when hit by some enemy sniper. All over America, the moms and dads who had read about their sons in Pyle's reports openly wept. Ernie Pyle believed in America and knew that America is the sum of its parts. He knew that the war was a big thing, but every man who fought was important as patriotism. Well, there's so many things I'd like to say about Ernie Pyle. It's great. Dennis, you brought a man here that I knew while I was a soldier in World War II. Ernie Pyle, what a great man. I so appreciate your letting us talk about him. Well, you know the drill, partners. Up there, look up there and see those three special squares over the right. The one at the farthest, it has the red X. That's the one you click, and it'll take you right back to our report page so I can give you the rest of the comments for this week. Dennis, thank you for including Ernie Pyle, your friend that you knew in college. Yes, and friends, tell us any story or any person that you'd like for Dennis to report on. I'll give it to him and we'll bring it into a future report page. I love you. I love doing what I'm doing here. Go get 'em, Tigers!